song, bruh.
There's a certain kind of nightlife you start to crave, dreaming in the dark of iridescent shapes. There are patterns in the ink between the lines. The sadness helps me think. I'm a little bit uncertain, but who isn't these days? Paralyzed, petrified from the unending gaze. If I walk along the empty street, I think I might just see it. The visage of a heart that's been bursting through the dark. Remember why you started. Remember why you care. You're a vision of a galaxy, and all the stars out there. We will never have enough time. We don't have to leave today. I've already spent the years sad. I wanna be okay. Remember why you started. Remember why you care. You're a vision of a galaxy, and all the stars out there. We will never have enough time. We don't have to leave today. I've already spent the years sad. I wanna be okay. I wonder if somewhere along the way I may got angry or made a mistake. Holding on to hurtful things breaks the skin and stings. I gravitate to apathy. You wanna stay a mystery, melting into.
Hello. I was say good morning, but it's just a few minutes before the afternoon. I am here. I am ready to finally begin the stream and start Route B with Nier Automata. Nier Automata. Nier Replicant. Good grief, I started an hour late today. Messed me all up. I had a delay to start stream a bit because finish getting the house ready for family coming in town tonight. So, but at least since they're not coming in tonight, I have time to get in stream before then. I am ready to go. I think since I started late, we're not gonna waste time. We're just going to jump on in. Yes. Should be how I do it. Okay, so it starts when she got released from her petrification. Kainé'S dreams discrimination. Oh. You got text, so let me move downhill. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surround the area magnified the sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Then wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was wandering slowly towards the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of the town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as Annie could remember, and started. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Their traits combined with pale white skin to give the face of an almost sexless quality. Realize I didn't unmute. So, going to, restart. Trying to set it up on the desk. Alright, ready some Alt F for that. They're trying to get to a stopping point. Alright, take 2. She's starting route B.
Whenever I interacted with
And this time we
Kainé,
actually have audio.
I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway.
Be free, Kainé. Kainé'S dreams discrimination. Alright, the sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area of magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly towards the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. Oh, why did I say started last time? The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Their traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly towards the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo! Kainé! The voice belonged to Demo? Worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kainé struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo, and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kainé's seemingly indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kainé turned to leave. Wow. She really did have a rough childhood. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kainé knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentors' parents watched from the safety of their home. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. Wow. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kainé was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. What? I didn't say you could leave, freak. Daimo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong. Be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt. Oh, look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kainé prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Daimo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Daimo's rock had taken my head off. Kainé couldn't meet Daimo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of an old meat on his breath. Well, that blocks there. I have a try up here. The boy grabbed Kainé's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelids, pried open. Asshole. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Well, maybe they should. Well, there is no maybe. They should say no to you. Not even taking his attention from Kainé, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kainé. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kainé crawled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kainé ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. You're making me mad. Freak, chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kainé closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she beat her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kainé was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kainé. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. Ancient woman? After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. Oh. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kainé again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow. Ow. Ow, he screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it. What are you doing? Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words, locking his eyes on Kainé. He took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village. No one wants you here. Either of you. Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ha! Look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kainé. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting out the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kainé, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother The words of her grandmother stung Kainé, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I caused bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kainé's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kainé's found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kainé. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kainé was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kainé called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence. Oh, that's obvious. And their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kainé and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kainé truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kainé's pain and loneliness, it was her. Did I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Kainé drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kainé's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kainé want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother has somehow collected a dozen or more. Kainé reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandma smiled. We're going to be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hands in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams, daily life. Right. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe. Kaine's grandmother fled away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. Grandma, called Kaine. That's you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close, or I might strike your goddamn foot off take your goddamn foot off by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. When she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma, do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shays have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of the bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter. And rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid strike, the tool embedded itself into the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it. Crap. She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt and a good curse. Well, we see where it all got started. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kainé redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezing laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kainé dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kainé steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kainé didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kainé away. Just stop that. Just stop, she cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Are you sure? Kinda seems that way. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trips is all. Kainé desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandma watched over Kainé was ending, sooner than either of them had feared. The positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kainé came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick. You need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kainé gently pushed her down. It's all right. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, god damn it. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kainé strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky. She was still watching. Kainé moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kainé finally found herself at the entrance of the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kainé took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. She chanted those words to herself over. Finally, her eyes settled in on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kainé's presence. Hey, lady, said Kainé with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? They seemed to say, but Kainé saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kainé repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kainé cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He clearly had been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kainé happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha, barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kainé under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kainé a sense of peace. Surely in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall, behind the counter, rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kainé turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched her when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Oh, I'm sorry. Kainé didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kainé and smiled, handing her the medicine. He reached into a sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kainé took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Oh, thank you for the follow. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali? Thought Kainé suddenly. She was still mulling his new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kainé scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she was like that very much. Kainé murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kainé returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kainé to think she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kainé from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Well, how was it? Does Bastards give you any trouble? It's kind of fun, said Kainé with a small smile. Oh, okay. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know. As she spoke, Kainé removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me. Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Horseshit, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now, put those crayons away and help with dinner. But Kainé would not relent, and in the end, her grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kainé took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kainé finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed at a laugh. Oh, Kainé, she said between laughter, you truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kainé would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kainé would stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down with a roll me in my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kainé and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel this same happiness. It was a moment that burned itself in Kainé's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. Oh. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on, people and memories move in and out of a life that, like ghosts passing through a hall. This moment will be different. Kainé swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kainé's dreams. Separation. Okay, so why... Before I do this, why did it... That did that. But why didn't I... Do I need to redo this one? Shame. Allow. Open. Why did the follow not show up for my alert? Filter. Kick is on. Hmm. Why didn't... Manage alert. Emulate. That one will I will have to look into that. It also didn't appear in my events list on here. If maybe do I need to maybe I need to do it like this. Wish I had a way of testing that. Oh wait, I do it here. What the heck? Is it 2007? Yes. I don't. I don't understand why I'm let's go here. Test. Okay. Down. Let's see. Okay. Johnny listens to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She's been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, said Kaine, and I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right. Oh, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kainé'S grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, the relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward at the same. All the same, meals that used to be somber, affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Boy. right there. Kane could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kane started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. "Where are you going today?" asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Okay, the fact that music just started, you need to wonder. "Well, I was going to check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm not going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow." Somebody's up now, the music starting back. "Flagstones? What in the hell? What in the hell for?" Johnny stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. "Grandma, a dying cat could shoot through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection." The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. "Goddamn girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway." "I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday." The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. "Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other." "Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelm trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that." A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment, she was a small child, lost at a carnival. "Yes," she said after a bit. "Yes, of course. You're right. I'm sorry. Kinda lately, it seems my mind is..." She didn't finish the thought. Instead, walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer, the flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. "You're going to be a true woman soon," Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. "So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you've become." Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. "You're a beautiful thing," said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you." "Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day." Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from?" "Gee, I wonder." "Yeah, I wonder as well." "I'll teach you to sass me, girl," yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. "Grandma," yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. "Grandma, stop it. What the hell?" The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kind of thought the look on her grandma's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. "Listen," she began. "Maybe I should stay home after all." "No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old cottager like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you." Mmm, delicious. Kaine rolled her eyes and kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bit woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. Gods, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kane worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kane pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing the path with a finger, Kane suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No. Oh gods, no. Her grandmother's house was ablaze. The flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Oh no. Grandma! Grandma! Kane ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground. But she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kainé'S mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her first suspicion confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. Is this a shade that attacked her as an adult? The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprout from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. I think it was. Seeing Kane, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotten meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time, Kane responded with a scream of her own. "All right, you bastard," she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me. Let's go." The shade eyed Kane with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kane glanced towards the house, through the smoke and flames, and she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive," thought Kane. "Alive!" Kane's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard towards the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kane tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes, and she tried to remember how her legs worked. "Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now!" As Kane struggled to her feet, the shade stomped towards the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kane lurched to her feet only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that streamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. "Grandma, hold on. Just a little longer." Her grandma's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kane pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, and the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. "Bastard," laughing at us. She had no idea how much a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt. The shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kainé was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kainé rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backwards. Ow! But she forced it from her mind and began to hobble towards the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back, she screamed. Give her back to me. It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade painted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air towards the young girl that was latched to its foot. Connie never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kainé. Kainé's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the ground. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kainé, you gotta run. You can't beat this one. Kainé grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on, we have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kainé's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no! I said run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's claw foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kainé's nose once again. Wow. I didn't expect it. It didn't take this route, but it explains her hatred for shades as an adult. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kainé blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kainé's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jingle of noise. Kainé screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kainé's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kainé seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kainé off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? Think it is. Think I'm bleeding to death. No. Can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kainé's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames. All of it had faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. 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 Kill it now. As a spark that was Kainé slowly began to flicker and die, She felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Time to fight it again. Bring it on. Yeah.
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
Not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it
Uh-huh.
down.
Check out. There goes another one. I think I dashed into that one. Oh, we still had a little bit of life left. No, it doesn't. You know, what? Maybe choked it out before. We gonna choke it out again? Yep. And dead. Kainé. Gonna wake up. Kainé'S dreams encounter. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentors was dead, turned and stomped off towards the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kainé tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing at herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. That is gonna make clapping a real bitch. I guess she's trying to find some humor in it. Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo. She thought of the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck your eyes out and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Oh, that's what you want. Click back into this. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quietly after a few seconds. He turned the page to Kainé and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kainé opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No! Don't hurt that picture! Kainé reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell out the picture into the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kainé turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. Oh. The apothecary smiled, and they broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha. Oh, this is a nightmare. I look like that? Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kainé laid her head back in the mud, in smoke of her ruined house, and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kainé wanted to scream at the voice as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Finally, Kainé resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best. Kainé glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up towards the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kainé tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. Ready to give up? Ready to die? So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused, as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I'm gonna take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood, just like before. What the heck? In response, Kainé shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kainé was struck by the most painful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kainé's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. What the hell, sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burned itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are going to be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letter seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Just stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood. Then go out there and... Shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body. Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard at the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl, you're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. But possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me. You got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow. Darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you. You too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. The little fat kid who kept picking on you? The big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade? Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. What the heck? Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. F off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. She screamed the voice. Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyran. And if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. You'll get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. I'm gonna find that shade, and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha, laughed Tyran. I have shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, before being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back
Live,
to us!
Kaine.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Kaine.
Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Oh,
Thank you.
your voice isn't different.
Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, how
Only
long has it
5
been?
years.
5 years.
Shit. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Any luck with Yona?
Yeah, no.
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, that story. Oh.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep.
Oh. Now makes the bandages on her arm and
Emil's
leg.
unflagging kindness.
Answers that question.
Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kainé saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me.
You are a skeleton now.
As long as you're still with
Floating
us,
skeleton,
I can deal with it.
to be more exact.
Right, Kainé?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
Ta-ta.
What is the matter?
Kainé always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night.
Understandable.
For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect
But
it from
did
the
they?
horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kainé and Emil's situation myself.
Yeah, that is true.
I should apologize to Kainé and Emil. But what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kainé.
Wait, is that?
Campfires are weird, aren't they?
They'll have their own little
I'm
cookout
so
or
happy to
camp
get
out.
to talk to you again, Kainé.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
That's sweet, Emil.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right?
Yeah.
Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Oh.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
And look where you are now.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea.
What's your idea?
Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body.
Is that even
I
possible?
know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Nope. You're never gonna live it down. So is it safe for them to camp out there with the shades?
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
Oh, so for your show. Playing at...
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
I thought we were gonna start playing as Kainé.
She got the black scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
Strange? How
In
so?
what way?
Well, here. Take a look.
Don't tell me it's freaking more reading.
Say there. Can you not hear me?
What have I... What the heck?
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now. There's the door.
Right.
What did I do?
Let's go.
What are we in? If you're on this point, you'll be unable to save until the battle is over. Do you want to go to the door? No. Oh. Can I go to the other door? Yeah. Let's see what happens. Like I said, yeah. This is a road of the recycled vessel created to avoid the destruction of all. Where did I go? Where do I need to go? I guess I'm going down. Down? Let's say so, because Jays are now spawning. Dab, dab, dab. Hey. Well, I took a shortcut. Unintentionally. Ow. Ah, y'all didn't give up now, did y'all? Ow, fell to the floor again. Okay, we can't go through there. Oh, there's a ladder. Oh, no. Ow. Okay. Name medicinal herb times 3. The Black Scroll, a lost destiny. A white book, a false truth. Ow! Where'd she go? There you are. You block me. Fire! Because of the tree. Fire! Dab. Oh, you're the only one. Oh, no. Ow. Dab. Okay, what's next? Nothing. Okay. Soldiers of Salt calling forth wild white death. Now we're in the library. Ow. Come here. Here you are. Did free for you. Yeah. Ow. Dab. Ow. Oh, I need to heal. Ow. Annoying. Why is there? You just keep respawning. Okay, got him this time. Take the one-handed sword, Fool's Embrace. Dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. Ow. Fool's Embrace, moderate. I feel like this is 200. Oh, no, you got to. Aye. She does. Ow. Okay, got the big one. Medicinal herb times 3. Black sickness stains the future. The journey to return to. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use an herb, and then I'll grab this one. Oh no! I knew that was gonna happen. I just need to let that one sink down. And then I can jump across. Oh, we got multiple of you. Who's... I am not gonna deal with magic. No. We'll use another herb. Again, I'm supposed to go. Yeah, I'm supposed to continue this way. Let it sink. Oh. Dang it. Here. Okay. They changed how these work for this area? Oh, he did. Now we're at the big one. Ow. Ow, you just knocked me into the wall. Attain the Kabuki outfit. 1,000 experience points. What? Press it, you'll be able to... I'll come back to that a little later and do another section. First thing of it. Why am I back here? Why am I... back here? I have to replay through all of it again. Dang it. I thought that was the exit. This is more effective. Way more effective. Checked up these. Ow. Where'd they go? Okay, got rid of that. On to the next room because I messed up. Here's this annoying section again. Ow. Hold. Nope. Ow. So many of you. Okay, that was all. I think now I'm back to the other room, aren't I? No, I meant this one. This one's not too bad. Hi. Stab. Alright, does a big one want to... Nope. Yeah. Now the big one. As many as possible. That was actually really. Ow. Spikes are really helpful against steel. Now I think I'm into that side scrolling. Yep. I hate this section. I nearly overjumped that. Stab. Ow. Okay. Wait for it. Yep. Oh. Fell off again. I knew that was gonna happen. As soon as I saw it spawning in. Gotcha. Now it should be the final one. Yes. Oh, don't you dare. Set me free. I got more experience. How do I get out of here, though? Please, yes. To leave this area.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Oh, I bet you these are... Yep. I figured this was gonna happen because of I ended Route A. No sense of wasting time on that.
Hey,
Oh, hi. I kinda thought you'd never talk to us again.
I understand you're doing this for the village, and that you don't have a choice.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, why don't you go talk to Popola? I think she wanted to discuss the Shadow Lord with you.
Really?
Next. Oh, and Devila?
Yeah?
Sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
You
Don't
don't need
apologize.
to apologize. Anyone would be upset when their friends are hurting. Let Emil and Kaine know that we're sorry, alright?
All right.
Okay, go talk to Popola. So far, this is the same. This is the beginning of the fight. I don't recall those two being there.
Popola?
Oh. Hello.
Look, I want to apologize for
Stop. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but neither did you. You're just trying to protect the villagers. And I jumped down your throat for it.
It's very kind of you to say so. Regardless, please don't let it trouble you.
Ahem. I believe there was something you wished to discuss with us.
Oh, right. Yes, about that. You know about the lost shrine, right?
Mm-hmm.
The temple where I was first discovered.
That's it. Well, it seems that the Shadow Lord's lair is connected to it somehow.
Oh ho. It was right under our pages the whole time.
But the bridge that
Are we
leads
gonna
there
have
is unusable.
keys again?
So, take a boat.
A boat?
Yes, the canal's finally been repaired. It took a lot longer than expected, what with the shades and all. I also asked them to provide a boat at the path to the Lost Shrine's back entrance.
Uh-huh.
The ferryman will let you use it free of charge. That should make it easier for you to move from town to town.
Thanks, Popola. I feel like you've done so much for me. I'm really grateful. All right, I'll see you around.
This is
And for the love of everything,
same.
be careful.
I made no promises. I mean, it started off different because you got Kainé'S backstory. But now there's this. What?
The path above the entrance to the shopping district should lead to the boat landing.
How excellent to know the canal is finished.
I got
Hopefully this
confused.
puts our days of running all over behind us.
The faster we can move, the faster we can save Yona. Let's use it as often as we need.
I worked it. Shop here more often.
Uh-huh. I have nothing. We still have... Yeah, we don't have any quests. They should let us know if
Which job should I give
life
you
in a
first?
Yeah, we ain't doing
Come
that.
back
That's the one that involves having to raise the plants.
Hey, look who it is. Remember me?
That
Yeah,
red
I
bag.
do.
My pages. You're the slovenly half of that couple who refused to stop arguing.
Hey, it's been a while.
Sure has. I've been in charge of this canal since we last talked. Apparently I did a pretty good job with it because they decided to make me the permanent ferryman.
Oh yeah, huh?
Thanks. Still, it's not all puppy. Anyway,
Yes, we've been through this. Go to the last shrine. Why are we?
the Lost Shrine's up ahead, just past this cave.
As well as the Shadow Lord's castle.
Let us make haste.
Away here we go. I don't. This is just me playing through the like. This is different. Hansel. Oh, they're Hansel and Gretel. What do you want? Go away, dirty, defective swine. I'm not like you. like different. Okay, so there are some things that are changing. I thought this was the way thing was going to be the end up playing like the opening thing with Kainé. Just playing through like the second half of the, or I guess like last quarter of the game. I was like, well, I'm not going to stream that. It's just going to be the same up until the end. But there's some minor differences. Tell you could just fast travel us up to the whatever, to the shrine. I'm just gonna run as fast as I can through some of these areas. There could be a bit of a faster way to get up there. And have to not climb ladders. You again. Stop bothering me. Grimoire Vice has been taken away. Hansel is dead. There's no reason for me to exist anymore. My life is over. Just leave me alone. What? Did they like fuse together?
Excited, sunshine. We finally get to bathe in blood.
Don't talk to me.
Katie.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
So that's what he sounds like. I don't want to fight Shades unless absolutely necessary. You spawned in front of me, so you're an exception. Oh, we got a twisted ring. Another one. I don't remember increasing like. No. Health slot. Solve. Strength capsule. Ready to go. Plus. Block this. Alright, well, I filled up my strength capsules. We need to go this way. Really, you're gonna make me do this again? Why? Well, oh wait, I need to go like this, then I can push this one. There we go.
This is all too easy.
You say so. Oh, boy, y'all took care of that one. Okay. Technical guide. And now we can, no we can't. I have to go to the store. Side puzzles. Jump over. Push there. Down with it. Over. This one over. Ooh. Push. There we go. Turn back. Turn back.
What's with these guys?
Certainly not your garden variety, Shades.
Their bodies aren't
Interesting.
fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
What? Interesting. Ow. He blocked it. Nice one. I didn't block that. Okay, so to go through here to get past the broken flooring. Ow. Again. Ooh. Push that one. This one. Wrong one. I need it. Oh, actually, I don't think I need to do that one. No. Just push this over here. Oh. Surrounded. Step. So many little ones. Okay. Wait. Clear. Ow. Oh, we got a lever machine. We're back outside. I treated you all poorly. I mocked you, betrayed you, all because you were Gestalt before the change was complete. But after all this, I think I can understand you. I think we can speak as equals. This makes me very happy. I hope we can spend the rest of our life. What was that?
Kainé? Emile? Look, from now on, I'm going to sleep outside with you.
Why?
I can't accept that you aren't allowed in the village. It's stupid.
So you're staging a protest? Fun!
Don't waste your time.
But it just feels wrong.
Well, that's really nice of you, but you still don't have to stay out here with us.
Emil.
You got a super important mission. You can't sleep out in the rain. What if you catch a cold? Besides, I like camping with Kainé. Sometimes we sit around the fire and tell stories, or roast...
No, that's enough.
Roast
Got a fucking
marshmallows?
image to maintain.
See, last time there
We
was
seem to be
shades.
surrounded by a
Yep.
mob of helpless puppies.
Just kick him aside.
Oh, we got a new word. A seal. Another one. Us. Chestra. Right. Oh, one's sitting behind here. Oh, we save. Yeah, this is and big boy. Don't touch them.
What's going on?
Well,
There's
fire.
dozens of them!
Fire!
These are creatures of the darkness. Lure them to the light.
Step.
To the end, I see.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
Ow. So, ready. Gonna wait. Alright, what's the light?
Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna start crying here.
Ow. Alright, read the capsule. Punch. Nice job, Kenny.
Have you felled the beast?
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna be even angrier. Those are my friends.
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Damn it!
Hey there, sunshine. You ain't feeling bad this week, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You got a lust for blood. Embrace the slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle. Ain't that right, Kainé?
Right. I forgot she gets impaled.
Oh, you're kidding me!
That explains why she went berserk, though.
Kainé!
Bet you must die now. Oh. Yeah, it went everywhere. And down.
Kaine! Are you alright?
Does
Kaine!
she look okay?
I fear there is little we can do for her.
Yeah,
No!
it's not up to us.
What is happening?
It's all over for you, sunshine.
Kaine! Kaine!
And now she goes berserk. Yep.
It's Kainé'S shade!
We've no other choice. We must strike it down.
Kaine! Come back!
Yep. Ha, you stopped the berserk Kaine within 1 minute. Yeah, got it.
Kaine! Kaine!
Kaine!
You back with us?
I couldn't hold it back. I can't be with...
We're always going to be together, Kaine. If you transform again, we'll just stop it again. As many times as it takes. I don't care how tough it is. We're gonna get you back. I like sleeping outside because I'm with you, Kaine. I'm able to ignore my appearance and keep going because of you. I'm weak and I'm sad and I'm lonely. But you make me strong. You're my friend and I need you. So don't
I
you
forgot
dare
about
leave me.
the Bill Soul. Sad bullet tear.
All right. Stop crying. And thanks.
You're welcome, Kaine.
All right.
Over there.
This is the first key fragment. Yep.
And
Or
what
stone
is
fragment.
this, hmm?
Beats me. It's got some kind of writing on it, but I don't know what it says.
How remarkably useless of you. Well, let's go ask Popola.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cipher of some kind.
Can you determine its meaning?
I think this is the key to unlocking the Shadow Lord's castle. Here, take a look at this. I wrote down all the words I can understand. This fragment is called the Stone Guardian. Given
Which
that
makes
you found
sense.
it in the Lost Shrine, the words must mean something. There are spaces here for 4 other fragments as well. Sacrifice, the Law of Robotics, the Memory Tree.
That means I'm gonna have to go to that stupid desert shrine
Loyal
thing again.
Cerberus. The Law of Robotics probably refers to the Junk Heap. And the Memory Tree might be the Forest of Myth. But as for Sacrifice and Loyal Cerberus, I don't have a clue.
Not a problem.
We'll figure it out.
If we want to fill in the words, we just run around the world killing every big monster we find, right?
Oh, splendid. By all means, let us undertake a murderous rampage.
They're just shades. Besides, it's the only way to reach the Shadow Lord.
It's a dangerous task.
Yeah, well, Yona's in even more danger.
But how can you even be sure that she's...
Because she is! Alright? The junk heap in the Forest of Myth, yeah? I'm on my way.
Please be careful. Oh, and listen. About Kainé and Emil.
Don't worry about it.
The villagers know how much they've sacrificed, and they're thankful. It's just... they're scared, you know? People can't change overnight. I'll hurry them along the best I can. But can you please give them a little more time?
I'll try.
Yeah, no. Alrighty ho. We'll go to the junk heap.
Popola said we might be able to find a key fragment in the junk heap.
Perhaps we can find a clue at Two Brothers' weaponry.
Alright, we're gonna save here. And that's where I'm going to go ahead and call it a strip for today. I was a bit worried that this was going to go exactly the same as the previous as Route A, but there's some slight differences. And we got like terrain, Tron, whatever his name actually is, talking to Kainé, so that will be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, so next time we will just kind of speed run getting to these keys, since it's just exactly the same as far as like the process goes. The same should actually be able to just breeze right through it. Even though I gotta deal with that stupid desert shrine again. Is it like the barren shrine or whatever? Those rooms are so annoying. But yeah, so next time we will work on getting all the keys. Or the fragments, whatever you want to call them. And go from there. See if visiting family doesn't leave until Monday morning, so depending on what time they leave, I may or may not stream on Monday. We will see. But until then, or until next time, or well, thank you for those stopping until next time. I will see you later. Bye.